Hello my crafty friends, my name is Mary and welcome to my channel, Cut, Glue, Relax. Last time I was on, I was going over hidden paper clips, and this was always my favorite one that I use the most. So we made a bunch of them. As you can tell, I had fun. I will tell you, these, see how this is, how the washi tape doesn't stick? I've come up with another way of attaching the paper clips to this and to the next paper clip we're going to make. If you notice on this one, the way I told you to cut the paper is different, and you can put a little divot of paper out, and you can seat that right in so you don't see the top of that if you don't want to see that. And that was last week's paper clips. Okay, this week's paper clips is this one. This is another pocket hidden paper clip, or hidden pocket paper clip. It doesn't matter. I made these are the last few that I have, and I made smalls and mediums, and that's because that's what the lady on the video, I can't remember her name, I'll try to look it up. This has been so long since I watched this video, I can't remember who it was. It might have even been just one of those little shorts, I'm not sure. But this is here's one that I made last year. I want to make something a little bit bigger. You see I put a little cutout on it. And I got to thinking after I made these, because these are my most favorite paper clips, because they're bigger. See, it's obvious they're bigger. If I want to put anything in them, it can only like be a ticket, and honestly, not all tickets fit in them. If you look, this ticket just barely squeaks in, and it's way too short. So I'm trying to find something, and I was thinking really hard. There was smoke going off. My husband thought there was a fire going, and I came up with another idea. And first I made them the regular way that I did. Right? They're about the same size as the old ones, right? Okay. And then I really thought hard and came up with these. Came up with these. Came up with these. And what basically I figured out is that so long as you're making one side 6 inches, like these was like 375 and 425, too hard to remember, 6 inches. You know, most of us work with 12 by 12s or even 8.5 by 11s, and if 8.5 by 11, you can just make them 5.5, because that's the half size of the 11.5, or 5.25. No, 8.5 by 11. Yeah, 5.5 would be the half point. So you can use half 5 by 5s or 6s to make these. And I really like this. I think this one's really cute. This is a little cutout on a digital, and that was the a little sticker with a bunch of little little butterflies, and I pulled it out. And that's a big stamp that was part of a collection. The same thing here. As you can tell, I'm working on the sweet cherry swaps that Sassy Southern NC Girl is hosting, and it's due on April 11th, so I've got to get it together. I'll be working on the Bunnies and Blooms Swap next. I can't remember who that is. I want to say Wall of Glitter, don't quote me on it, but if you go on Instagram, and these are people that are in our community, you'll see them. But this is a paper that I bought. I went to Hobby Lobby last night because I am on a no credit card buy, probably for the rest of the year, which is fine. I have more than enough stuff to come up with. And I went on hobbylobby.com and their little app, and they had some beautiful cherry paper. So I went, this was the only cherry paper I found. So I bought 2 of them. guess it's not over here. Probably not. It might be somewhere else, which is fine. And I'm thinking, you know, I went to cut it in half. And I'm like, man, I really wanted to get some more cherry papers. And what am I going to do? I guess I'll just use pink or red. And then I glanced over and I have a printer. I have a printer that makes copies. So my little brain got to working, and since I'm smarter than the average bear, I made copies of that paper so I don't run out. And I think I did one on stock too. Yeah, I made one on stock paper. So I have all different forms of this. Well, that's great. But when I was in Hobby Lobby, I don't know where their ribbon department is. I can't find it. I finally found the flower department, but again, I'm on a walker and oxygen, and I can barely get through that store one time around, never mind go through after I go around the whole store, then find the flowers and look for the ribbons. So I had gone by the fabric department and I saw fabrics. I picked up 2 cherry fabrics. That's all I found. I know there's a third one because Hobby Lobby app said there was a third one. I couldn't find it. But what I did was I used that copier, and again, smarter than the average bear, I made paper based on the fabric. I just spread it out and copied it. Now on this paper, there's a cat hair on one that I copied. Oh, that must be the one where I found all the things. But you see, there's a piece of thread there. And then on another one, there's a cat hair. There's the piece of, another piece of thread. So when you do make a copy, definitely make sure that there's no cat hair or threads on it. Now I tried to make the black copy, this black background one, which is really, really pretty. But for some reason, it didn't want to copy. And I ran into this problem when I was making Valentine's Day paper. When it got too dark, it did this. And what I did is I ended up turning it off and turning it back on again. I contacted Epson, because that's who made my printer. You know, Epson, the technical help to get assistance. Sorry, I'm adjusting this. I guess I should have warned you. And it still came out with lines. I'll use this as practice paper, but I definitely am going to turn off my machine sometime tonight and probably turn it back on in the morning and see if it prints it out better. So back to my lovely hidden pockets that we're going to make. So this is the second of a series. Let me put all of this stuff to the side. I got a little cup right here. This is one of the older ones. And then when I made these in the summer, I used my coffee paper, my avocado paper, and my cabbage paper. That's why they are such pretty pastel colors. And then this was a book page. This was just regular scrapbook paper from Michael's, the Reflections or Recollections or whatever they have. The stuff that if you wait long enough, it goes on clearance for $4. That's when I buy it. Although if I see one that I really, really like, I might get one, only because I'm afraid it might sell out, because the clearance aisle doesn't always have every one of them, okay? Oh, I got these fussy cuts. I can't believe I grabbed these. I'm sorry. I thought I prepared well, and I didn't. Okay, we'll use this one. Let me put this over here. So what I did, oh, and just as like a peep into the future, this is another one. This is the paper clip that just about everyone uses, and that's a blank. It's super easy. You can make tons of them. And then this one is the letter, the one that looks like a letter. And I made that one for Valentine's Day. I think it's the darndest, cutest thing. And I wrote, and I would draw, and I drew on here like the postage mark, and I put 3 lines for a return address and 3 lines for a regular one. But I just think that that's so darn cute, and a little 1/4-inch punch to do that. Really cool. I really like making paper clips. I've actually been watching a video on how to make another one, and it's round. And you can put, like, here are some of those hidden paper clips that have, like, they're made to have like a little gap in the paper clip, and you pull it down, you stick your ribbon in and you pull it down tight before you glue it. So you have, like this one I knotted, but you don't have to. Basically you're supposed to just pull it in. And I've made these. These are, everyone knows how to make them. The paper on the bottom, smaller paper on top, paper clip on the folded end, put it in, glue it down, this, glue it down, and we're good to go. Or you cut a little divot on top again. You know, easy peasy. So these are a little bit different, but I will be making those also. And also the round one that I just found. I'm going to sit down and make a bunch of them so I can think of all the different ways of making it and all the different ways of making sure it's done properly. So for these paper clips, if you want the smaller ones, again, this would have been a what is this? This is 2 inches, so this would have been 4 inches by 4 inches. This would have been a 4 inch by 4 inch square to start out with, and that's what makes the smaller one. This one is a oops. This one's about, what is it? 5, almost 6 by 8, 8.5. So I'm probably going to keep this one at 5.5 by 6, because then it'll give me a 3 by 2.5 inch hidden pocket, and you can stick your ATCs or your altered playing cards in them and stick them in a journal. That's the all ATCs and the I just said it, what were they? And the ATCs, oh, and the altered playing cards are seem to be really trending right now, and so why not put them in your journals, junk and or otherwise. I'm trying to line this up because it's kind of hard. It's not as easy to work with because you're looking through this ring, and also trying to make sure that you're on your that you're in the frame. Oh, let me, after I cut this, I'll show you what else I had done to prepare when I go and I sit down to make these, because I make a bunch of them at a time like everybody else. Maybe not a mass make, but I do make a large make. And I make them out of everything. I make them out of book pages, a hymnal. This is coffee dyed. Coffee dyed. Oh, and I brought a sample of this one. This is how I make my coffee dyed paper. Anything that gets sent to the house that has a blank on the back is mine. I claim it, I own it, I dye it. Sometimes the ink comes through, like this is the one from Social Security. If you're on the Affordable Care Insurance, you get 100 bazillion of these. It's just some type of notification in different writing, but it bleeds through. But it's okay, you can use it for practice and you can stamp on it. Nothing goes to waste, but this is great, and doesn't matter because you're gluing on here. I use these, and also since these are hidden pockets and you fold them in half, you're hiding the writing. So another thing I use, this is a cabbage dyed. I don't know how it ended up being pink, but I really like it. And that's another color that I'd use. I also had the cabbage dye that came out in the blue. I also have another one that came out green for some ungodly reason. But it was green, and I'll use it. I've also made the avocado, which is a beautiful burnished, like maroon color. I think I have them right here. I have a few of them right here. And I color coded the things, but I think this is the avocado dyed paper, and I just think it came out lovely. I don't have that many left. Now that it's getting warm again, I can do it because I can put them right outside my back door. And my oxygen cord, it's a 50-foot one. It's 2 25s put together so I can make it throughout the house. And I can stretch it outside. Let me put that one back over there. Okay. And I also, this is paper. This is, my husband does auto body repair, and I just like this shade of green. It's something that he puts on to, it has a piece of tape on one end. I think I just cut it off. I didn't pull it off. And it's paper with, and it's huge paper. It's huge. I can't even get my hands in it. It's huge paper. It's like, I gotta say maybe 2 feet across. And it's like many feet long, and they use it to protect the rest of the car when you're painting. And I like it, and I always ask them to grab me some and bring it in. I don't have enough room for a whole roll of it. And then these are just 12 by 12s. Again, these are different. That's more cabbage paper. 12 by 12s I've cut in half for 2 by 6s. This is just, again, that Michael's Recollection paper. This is one I got at Ollie's, but that's all it is. And this is a piece of vellum. I wanted to try making it out of vellum. It's called Blueberry. I got 50 sheets for 25 cents at a thrift store. I don't know if someone was using it for their wedding and it didn't work out well, but I really like it. I've got a little bit left. I have been playing with it and using it. But I just think it's just such a pretty color. It has that like goldish, greenish, goldish look on one side, and then the blueberry color on the other. But let's get back to how we make these. So I have my 6-inch long paper. Let me just do it this way, it's even easier. And I'm going to 6 inches. And you can feel free to make them bigger if you want. I just, try to remember, how big is the page of a journal that you're making. So most of them are pretty small, not very big. And that was the 6. And what's this one? Oh, this should be, is this the 5.5? No, but we're going to make it a 5.5. Let's line that up. I'm going to cut this end up because there's that piece of thread that I copied and it doesn't look right. Try to get as much of that out as I can. And I'm sorry if I don't move very fast. Okay, so I'm going to take it on the 6-inch side. And I'm going to fold it. Ooh. I'm going to score it. Because I've learned that this little scoring thing, this is really handy to score. That is one of the... Oh, I have to... No. Let me get this lined up. Oh, no. Here we go. I did have one of those like white ones with the little, that's metal with the little ball on the end. I don't know what happened to it. I had it 3 days ago and I've been through my desk like 3 or 4 times and I can't find it. It must have fallen into a bag underneath. And then we fold it in half because that makes folding it a lot better. Just that little bit of scoring and then you burnish. Okay, and you're going to remember which side you want it. I'm going to look at the ends. They're pretty good. Everything's pretty much lined up. Oh my goodness. And then, did I do it wrong? Oh, for goodness sake, I did it wrong. I'm supposed to fold it along the 6-inch length, not against the 6-inch length. Let's get this going. So you do the 6-inch length and then you fold it because you want it to be 2.5 by, you want it to be 2.5 by 3. Is that right now? Yeah, that's just at 2.5. We're going to make it 2.5. I guess I didn't cut it very well. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, now this one, you do it at 2. And at 4. Okay, and I'm going to come over and do a dry fit. This goes first, and this side goes second. There we go. And look, there's that thread. So we're going to do it this way. We'll go this side first. And this side second. I don't like the way that's looking on that edge. So we'll trim it off a little bit. Okay, and now, oh, of course I didn't bring any paper clips over. Oh, do I have one I can take out of here? Oh man, I cannot believe I did this. I feel extremely stupid. Here we go. Problem solved. Okay, where's that piece of thread? That piece of thread's there, so my paper clip's going to go here with the short side on the inside. Short side on the inside. Short side on the inside, and the long side on the out. Dry fit it again. Make sure it's centered. I need a little pencil. Didn't bring one. There they are. Make a little mark right here, right where that's at. And I'm going to scissors, cut a little divot. And I'm going to fit this in. Okay, make sure that's in the right area. There again, dry fit, okay. Then we need the tape. I apologize for the background noises. Just try to ignore them, please. Thank you. And I'm going to come down here, and what I do right away is I take one side off, because I can't tell you how many times I try to fit it over, and it I have to take one piece off anyway, because they don't fit evenly on both sides of the paper clip. Okay, we have that side. Make sure I get it right along the bottom of that curve. And again, we're going to use the blade, pop it off. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I was fixing my wreath on the front of my door. I haven't worked on it in about, good 10 years, and it was looking really battered. And I touched the hot glue gun with my thumb knuckle. Please. And I forgot to put a Band-Aid on. Well, it's healing. I kind of wanted it to get some air. Okay, then what I do is again, avalanche. Hopefully they'll stay up there. I take most people use their glitter glue or their Aleene's, I use TSSR Natural pH PVA Craft Glue. I've showed you what it looks like before. It's the one that I prefer. And I'm just gonna put a little bit, and of course I don't have a pin. If I can get this going. Nope, it's okay. Just get a little bit here. Okay, get a little bit on this corner, just to make sure they're flat. Okay, this has just a little bit of slip, but it's really quick at gluing. That's why I like using it. You want to do that, and you want to bring this side right to where that fold is. Give yourself like a 1/2 millimeter of room. Dry fit it again. How does it fit? Okay, got a good dry fit. Okay, and then put a little bit right here. And I just put just a little bit. You can even use your glue stick for those pieces right there. You know what? I forgot to check on that. Got a little bit of paper right here. That's bothering me. If I can get that off. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Okay. And I'm going to come along here. Just a little bit of glue. And I'm going to come along the other side, come all the way up here, and then all the way along the bottom. Again, I got just enough slip in there. Dries pretty quick, as long as I don't use a lot, but it's secure. And there you go. You can decorate it as you want. I don't know if I made it the right size or not. That's too big. Let's see, I have something here. Yeah, here we go. And here we go. And the finished size is 2 inches. Okay, this one won't allow a card in it. I had one of those ATC cards in there, but it's 2 inches by 2 3/4. So there you go. And what I do is I just take my card or whatever I want to make one of these for to go in my journal. I double the height, I double the width, and that's the piece of paper I work with, and I fold it that way. But that's how I make these particular hidden pockets. You know, the more I think about it, I saw this on one of those little short reels going by real quick, and I never found like a full video on it, but I really like it. I hope you guys like it, and it works out well. That was the second in the series of my hidden paper clips. And next time we'll get together, we'll be working on the third one. Or next time together, maybe we'll be going through, I've been wanting to go through my postcards and show everybody what I've gotten and a couple ways of using them in the journal. For the time being, I want to say thank you for watching. Again, working on my algorithm, trying to build myself. Please leave a like, leave me a message if you wish, and subscribe. That's what it's called. I'll see you out there in the Instagram space. Take care. Thank you. Bye.